Good morning, everyone. Today, we go into the working of ERP in real-life applications. For simplicity and to make it more interesting, let's take a local example, Proton. We will see the way Proton manages its business, right from sourcing its materials to delivering a car to its customer. Let's stand in a customer's shoes. He wants to buy a Proton X50 for their parents. He has done some research and paid a visit to a dealership. And he is ready to pay. But the salesperson tells him it will take roughly 3 months before the car is delivered. The customer is probably thinking, why does it take so long? Well, this is where ERP processes such as material management, production planning, and sales and distribution come into play. Let me explain each of these areas and how they are interconnected at Proton. Start with material management. It is very important in a Proton automobile manufacturing industry for ensuring that all required parts and components are available to manufacture a car. So, what is material management? Material management in ERP is used to ensure efficient and cost-effective handling of materials throughout the manufacturing process in Proton. It involves optimizing inventory, streamlining procurement, aligning material availability with production schedules, and managing warehouses. The system also tracks material costs, ensures quality control, and supports supply chain coordination to keep production running smoothly, reduce expenses, and maintain high-quality standards. The products are bought by the purchasing department of Proton from suppliers. The products range from mostly items such as engines, tires, batteries, and electronic parts. Because Proton suppliers are dispersed to other sides of the world, say Europe, China, and Southeast Asia, the company needs to be very efficient in communicating with and coordinating these vendors. Proton continuously monitors quality, price, delivery timing, and sustainable behavior of suppliers.
Mr. Pang, can I ask what the purchasing process is when Proton wants to buy materials?
Great question. It usually starts with a department at Proton raising a purchase requisition for a specific part, such as an airbag system. After the requisition is reviewed, the purchasing team will place a purchase order with the supplier. Once the goods arrive at Proton's warehouse, the receiving department checks the quality and quantity to ensure they match the order before storing them for production. Once the goods arrive at Proton's warehouse, the receiving department checks the quality and quantity to ensure they match the order before storing them for production. Okay, now, let's go a little deeper into the production planning. This is where the magic happens, turning raw materials into a road-ready completed car. Production planning at Proton isn't about when to build the cars. Actually, it is about how to ensure that every single part, right from the engine down to the tiniest screw, is made available exactly when it is needed. Production planning has included several steps, and the first step is market demand analysis. This step marks the start of production planning, analyzing market demand. Proton collects information from customer inquiries, sales trends, and forecasts from the marketing department to estimate the number of cars they will have to make within the coming months. Once the demand forecast is complete, then a Step 2 master production schedule, which is better known as an MPS, is prepared. Essentially, this is supposed to be a very detailed schedule that states just how many of its car models will be produced within a certain period, which usually encompasses a few months. The MPS provides an avenue for production to be balanced with customer orders while still creating room for flexibility. Next in the process comes material requirements planning, an essential element of production planning. Material requirements planning will take the master schedule and break it down further into specific materials and components needed to build each car. It answers what, how much, and when questions. After establishing the need for raw materials, Proton plans the actual production on the shop floor. This includes planning which line the car should be produced on, workers are assigned to do various tasks, and shifts are organized. Proton has adapted to a flexible manufacturing system where they can make different models on the same line, thus facilitating switching to another model when the demand arises.
Hi Mr. Pang, I want to ask what happens if there is a problem at the production line, for example, A machine breakdown.
Very good point. It is here that real-time monitoring and visual management tools come into application. Proton applies these tools in monitoring the latest status of production, equipment, and quality. Once any breakdown of machines occurs.
Hi Mr. Pang, I want to ask what happens if there is a problem at the production line, for example, a machine breakdown.
Very good point. It is here that real-time monitoring and visual management tools come into application. Proton applies these tools in monitoring the latest status of production, equipment, and quality. Once any breakdown of machines occurs, the system will spot this and flag the issue for prompt maintenance. ERP helps coordinate such activities by rescheduling production to minimize delays. Other situations may require that production be shifted to other lines or even be brought to a complete standstill until the problem has been fixed. Quality is key in Proton, so each car receives numerous checks down the line of production. They combine automated systems with manual checks to ensure all is to Proton standards. Robotic systems might check for accuracy in the welding process, while the paint finish and interior fitting a worker will do himself. If there is a defect, the ERP system logs the issue and can trace back to where in production it occurred. This information can then be used to make real-time adjustments by either recalibrating equipment or providing additional training to workers. It will be followed by the final stages of assembly and adding any additional features or customization after the quality checks are complete. Preparations, such as packing finished cars, will then be made for shipment. Coordinating with the sales and logistics teams, transportation arrangements will be put in place, with the cars being delivered to dealerships according to the customer's requirements using the ERP system. Now, let's talk about how the cars get to the customers. Proton works together with several dealerships and logistic partners to ensure that cars arrive just in time for customers. Once the order is confirmed, the ERP system checks the availability of the car, then does a credit check, and finally schedules the shipment. When the car is ready, it is sent to the dealership using various methods, depending on the destination, such as trucks or ships. Following the arrival of the car, Proton finishes the payment and delivery with the customer.
What if the customer changes his mind after placing the order, or he wants to add some features?
The change of customer mind does happen. If such scenarios happen, Proton can make the change order in the system. However, this could cause some delay since new components will be ordered, and the car needs to come back into the line for the additional work. This ERP system helps track such changes so that production planning and inventory planning can be readjusted as quickly as possible. You see, the making of a Proton car and its delivery to a customer is not just plain manufacturing. It is a long, well-coordinated effort interdepartmentally. Starting with the ordering of raw materials right up to the finalization of sales and delivery, the wheel is kept running smoothly by the ERP system. Such a system will ensure that Proton maintains competitiveness through smooth processing with less superfluous delays. I am glad to see that all of you are following. ERP may sound complicated, but if you break it down, it is just connecting the dots across business functions. You will have a better understanding of how these systems work and will give you an appreciation for what happens behind the scenes in companies like Proton. Alright, that's it for today. Make sure to go over what we covered and think about how ERP applies to other industries too. See you all next class.